Discover the incredible secrets of ancient Egypt's junk food, 7 life-changing treats revealed. Maya Garcia couldn't believe her eyes. Ancient Egyptians had it all figured out. Junk food that transcended time, transforming into life-changing delicacies that could ignite a passion for baking and sprinkle a glimmer of hope over her family's struggles. The words danced before her, honeyed figs, spiced date cakes, and sweet pastries that could rival her abuela's flan. Each dish was a treasure, waiting to be revived. But as the tantalizing thoughts flitted through her mind, one heavier thought lingered: her family's bakery was on the edge of survival. The weight of unpaid bills pressed on her chest like a fist. In the cramped kitchen, the smell of fresh bread wafted around her, a mix of nostalgia and guilt. She could practically see her parents, tired but determined, as they kneaded dough late into the night. They worked tirelessly to provide for her and her younger brother, Marco. Food was the family business, yet it was becoming a battle, the debts piled high like the flour bags stacked against the wall. Maybe I can create something big," Maya whispered, fingers dancing across her keyboard as inspiration surged through her. Blending the ancient with her own culture felt like destiny, like a delicious way to honor her heritage and help her parents. But excitement collided with doubt when she shared her ideas during lunch. Her peers exchanged skeptical glances and whispered doubts. "You should be focusing on school, Maya. What if it flops? You could be wasting your time," one friend warned, shadows of concern flooding their faces. Even her parents, though proud of her ambition, feared it would distract her from studying and jeopardize their dreams for stability. Undeterred, Maya organized a pop-up event titled 7 Life-Changing Treats. She envisioned the bakery flourishing once more, a place not just of survival but of celebration and dreams. As days turned into a countdown, the challenges became mounting. Last-minute ingredient shortages loomed like dark clouds, whispers of self-doubt settled deep in her heart, and a school bully aimed to expose her financial struggles to the town. The tighter the grip of her circumstances became, the more the looming storm of hopelessness threatened to overshadow her light. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. On the eve of the event, the storm rolled in. Thunder grumbled like a giant waking from a deep slumber as rain began to splatter against the windows. Would the world wipe away her labor of love before it could even begin? Maya felt the tightness in her chest swell into panic, the ground beneath her slipping away. But then, as the wind howled, something shifted. Friends, neighbors, even those who had never spoken to her rushed to help. People she'd only seen in passing rallied behind her, determination sparking in their eyes like the glow of candles lighting up the night. As she worked late into the night, each mouth-watering creation cemented her vision, a celebration of community, resilience, and her rich identity. Would the storm snuff out her aspirations, or would the unwavering spirit of her small town rise to meet her, transform ordinary ingredients into something extraordinary? Only time would tell. The next morning, the world outside was awash in a dull grey light, the storm having left its mark on the town. Puddles lay in the streets, mirror-like surfaces reflecting the gloomy sky as Maya peered out from the bakery's window. Her heart raced, an anxious flutter in her chest as she watched raindrops dance in the shallow water. Would anyone dare to venture out today? With nervous energy, she turned back to the kitchen. The last of the honeyed figs lay perfumed in baskets, shimmering invitingly. Maya had to remind herself that the work she had poured her soul into wasn't just a product, it was a lifeline. It felt like the future rested on her shoulders. She shook her head, focusing on the task at hand. Today was not about fear, it was about hope. As she rolled out dough and mixed spices, she could hear laughter echo from outside, the sound of her neighbors chatting, bundled up against the brisk air. A quick peek revealed a small group gathering, their spirits seemingly unbroken by the recent storm. She could see Carol, the elder lady who always wore floral dresses, carrying a tray of jasmine tea. Maya's heart warmed. They were coming to support her. At 10 a.m., doors opened, and the sweet smell of cinnamon and nutmeg wafted out, leading patrons inside like a whisper. The bakery had transformed. Tables were adorned with vibrant, colorful displays of her creations. Determined, she smiled genuinely at the first visitors, her anxiety beginning to melt away. Each face that entered felt like a little piece of encouragement, a flicker of hope igniting in her heart. "Wow, what is this?" Marco exclaimed as he slyly snuck a date cake off a tray. His excited eyes spoke volumes. Maya saw her brother's enthusiasm, and with it came a wave of determination. If she could get Marco excited, maybe her community could feel it too. As the clock ticked on, Maya realized her pop-up was turning into a gathering, people exchanging stories over pastries, children tugging at their parents' sleeves for just one more bite of sweetness. The bakery was alive with energy, with aromas mixed in laughter and chatter. For the first time, she felt a blossoming joy break through the weight of her fears, but as excitement swelled, so did doubt. What about the bully? If word got out about their struggles, would it burst this fragile joy? Shaking that thought away, Maya immersed herself in the present. She served each customer not just a treat, but a bit of her heart. Their joy reverberated through the room, and the days of unpaid bills felt a little lighter. Hours passed, and Maya found herself in a quiet moment, cleaning a counter as the festive atmosphere swirled around her. Suddenly, the door swung open forcefully, and a gust of wind rushed in. There stood Tara, the bully, with a sly smirk on her face, flanked by a couple of friends. The laughter faded, the room held its breath, tension crackling in the air. Maya's heart sank again. Would this be it? Would Tara's words crash down like the storm clouds of the day before? The room fell silent. It felt as if time itself had stopped. "What are you doing here?" Maya murmured, her fingers trembling around the dish towel. Releasing a breath, she readied herself for whatever words would come next. Would Tara bring darkness to light, or could community support drown out the sound of a single critic? What would happen next? Tara's smirk widened as she stepped further into the bakery, her friends giggling, the lightness of the room disrupted like a stone tossed into a pond. Maya noticed the way the smiles around her faded, energy retreating like the tide. "Nice little bakery you've got here," Tara said, eyes glinting with mischief. "I've heard it's just like a fairy tale. Too bad there's no happily ever after coming for you." Maya swallowed hard, her throat dry. She felt like she was being pulled into a storm with no way to fight back. The safety of her customers flickered, and the warmth of her creation seemed suddenly fragile. "How about a taste?" Tara continued, sauntering toward the pastry display. "I mean, if they are worth the trouble." In that moment, a wave of bravery surged within Maya. She refused to let Tara's presence darken what she had built today. She straightened her back and focused on the faces of the friends who had shown up for her. They looked as if they wanted to duck down and disappear, but Maya saw dewy excitement in their eyes, curiosity for her creations. "Maybe you should try our date cake, Tara," Maya offered, her voice steadier than she felt. "It's lighter than a storm cloud." Tara rolled her eyes, but the bakery had come alive again. Blocked laughter bubbled up from the corner. Carol offered applause, followed by a cheer from Marco, who stood shoulder to shoulder with a young couple near the entrance. "Yeah, Tara. Try it. If you can handle it." Marco jumped in, eyes sparkling mischief back at the bully. Everyone seemed to lean in, anticipating the tension that was so thick, it was almost palpable. Tara's eyes darted between Maya's confident stance and her brother's bravado. "Fine," the bully huffed, crossing her arms. "I'll take a piece. But it better be as good as you say." Maya felt the corners of her mouth twitch into a smile, but she held back, knowing better than to underestimate Tara. As she cut a generous slice and placed it on a plate, she caught the glances of her friends, a mixture of concern and hope glimmering in their eyes. She set the slice before Tara, who inspected it as if it were a bug under a microscope. The room held its breath, and the anticipation grew heavy. Tara picked up her fork, hesitated, then took a bite. Maya's heart raced. Would sweetness turn harsh with Tara's critical tongue? She watched her expression closely, bracing for the fallout. Tara chewed slowly, her eyes widening. For a brief second, surprise flickered across her face. She swallowed. "This isn't tea absolutely amazing?" Marco interjected, laughter erupting in the room. "That's right. I knew you'd love it." The air shifted. The bakery erupted with laughter and whispers. Maya felt a warmth spread through her. Okay, Tara said, attempting to reclaim her edge. "Maybe it's not awful, for a beginner." But the spell was broken. That bitter edge she always wore was no longer capable of cutting through the joy surrounding them. The bakery seemed to pulse with life, each laugh pushing back the shadows that had tried to take hold. Tara's friends looked at her, disbelief mixing with delight. Maya felt her terror start to melt, replaced by a small flicker of triumph. "Want to try another one?" Maya asked, a growing smile dancing on her lips. Tara paused, unexpected hesitance flickering in her eyes. Then, a reluctant smile pulled at her mouth. "Okay, I think I will." For the first time, Maya dared to dream. What if this was the start of something new? What if, just maybe, they could bridge the gap that had hung between them for so long? But as Tara took another slice, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that this moment could shift in an instant. Could kindness break through the walls that were carefully built? With rays of hope dancing in her heart, Maya stood ready, uncertain if it was the dawn of a new beginning or just a fleeting moment in a bakery filled with shadows. What would the next words between them bring? Maya watched Tara bring the fork to her lips again, tension weaving through the air like a cotton candy thread, sweet but fragile. She sensed that this simple moment could tip the balance between old grudges and a fresh start. As people gathered around, whispers blended into a soft, melodic hum, wrapping around them like a warm embrace. The second bite disappeared quickly. Tara's brows furrowed, a curious expression crossing her face. It was an intriguing blend of confusion and delight, and Maya couldn't help but lean in. Would it be another battle of wills, or had a bridge begun to form where walls once stood? "What's in this?" Tara asked, still chewing. She narrowed her eyes as if trying to dissect the flavor. "It's not what I expected." Maya felt a spark of hope. "Just the right mix of spices and a little love," she replied, a hint of playfulness surfacing. "Bet you didn't think love could be an ingredient." Around them, laughter erupted. People started chiming in, sharing their favorite treats from the bakery, strengthening the connections they shared over something so simple, yet so profound. Tara's group stood there, shifting uncomfortably, unsure of how to react to their leader being caught off guard. It was like watching a storm darken the sky, only to realize the clouds might just be there to deliver rain instead of thunder. "Don't act too surprised, Tara," Marco teased, folding his arms. "You know what they say about judging a book by its cover. Or, in your case, judging a pastry by its baker." Tara shot him a glare, but her eyes sparkled with mischief. Okay. Maybe I owe you a little more credit than I've been willing to admit." Maya's heart danced. She didn't want to be too eager, but the thought that maybe, just maybe, this was a turning point filled her with warmth. Tara's challenge may have transformed into intrigue, and her friends finally relaxed, drawn into the joy of the moment. "Let's get real here," Tara said, her tone a parade of mischief wrapped in curiosity. "This cake doesn't suck. But if you think I'll let you have the last word, you've got another thing coming." Challenging each other with playful jabs seemed to dissolve the weight on their shoulders. Joy bubbled everywhere, turning the bakery into a haven. It was as though the delicate pastries surrounding them whispered tales of resilience and growth, urging Maya and Tara to embrace this shift. Maya caught a glimpse of her friends beyond Tara, their faces brightened with smiles instead of frowns. Perhaps this was the moment they'd longed for, where differences could be transcended amidst the sweetness of baked goods and friendly banter. As Tara took another bite, she paused, turning her attention to Maya. "All right," she said, lowering her fork. "You've got to teach me how to make this. I might need some tips if I'm going to be nice." A wave of laughter swept through the bakery once more, but as quickly as the laughter erupted, a knot of uncertainty unfurled within Maya. Was this a fluke? Was Tara's niceness real, or a mere masquerade behind sweet frosting? Maya met Tara's gaze, looking for signs hidden beneath layers of challenge, but found only sincerity reflected back at her. Something within her whispered that this moment could lead to more than just cake. It was an opportunity, a path forward that required both fear and hope, but just as Maya was about to embrace the possibility of a new friendship, Tara's expression shifted again. The flicker in her eyes darkened slightly as she glanced at her friends behind her, and that familiar bullying edge threatened to creep back in. "Let's just say this doesn't mean I'm suddenly your biggest fan," she added, that signature smirk returning, yet with a strange softness that made Maya's heart race. "Fair enough," Maya replied, steeling herself against the return of the storm. "But maybe you could be a little more open?" Maya's pulse quickened, realizing that their dynamic was still fragile, just like the pastries she so lovingly crafted. What was next in this uncertain journey of baking and bridging differences? Would Tara's old defenses hold firm, or would she let them crumble? Maya braced for whatever storm might come next, ready to face the unpredictability of both pastries and people. Would she be able to grasp the threads of kindness woven through the air and pull Tara closer, or would it slip away, leaving her longing for what might have been in a bakery filled with sweet possibilities? Maya took a deep breath, trying to steady her racing heart. With Tara's smirk lingering, a mix of hope and dread bubbled in her gut. The bakery had transformed into a stage, and Maya realized that both she and Tara were at the center of this delicate performance. The laughter from the crowd faded slightly, as if they were all leaning in, waiting for what would happen next. "So, what is the first step?" Tara's challenge hung in the air. There was a spark in her eyes, a trace of genuine curiosity mingling with the usual bravado. "First," Maya started, her nerves buzzing, "you need to feel the dough. It's all about the texture." She rolled up her sleeves, feeling the warmth of the moment wrap around her. "Just like how we're feeling our way through this." Tara raised an eyebrow, the playful edge of a smile appearing. "You mean feeling your way through your little cupcake kingdom? Coming from you, I'll take that as a compliment." Maya shot back, the playful banter breathing life into her. Everyone around them chuckled softly, and the camaraderie felt like a warm blanket. The conversation shifted around as various friends drifted closer, drawn in like moths to a flame. People started sharing stories of their earliest baking disasters. Laughter erupted at tales of flat cakes and burned cookies, laughter that made Maya's heart swell with a newfound sense of belonging. "Remember that year I tried to bake you all chocolate chip cookies?" Marco chimed in. "I left them in the oven too long, and they were like hockey pucks. You could have played a full game with them." The ambience was infused with a shared warmth, and Maya saw it all, Tara in a new light amidst the glow of smiles. Maybe this wasn't merely about cake after all, it was about forging connections, layering memories like frosting on a cake. "Hey, let's not forget you used salt instead of sugar," Tara teased, nudging Marco lightly. "Those cookies could have doubled as gourmet dog treats." Maya's heart hummed at their playful exchanges. She felt Tara's walls thinning, might be friends coming together amidst the sweet scent of adventure. Yet a whisper of fear clung to her thoughts. It felt precarious, this new openness. Would it last? "All right, let's dive into the process," Maya declared, stepping over to the long marble counter. Tara followed, and for a moment, their paths aligned, not as rivals but as equals working side by side. Tara's fingers brushed against Maya's hands, and a tiny jolt of electricity sparked through the air. It was a thrilling reminder of the connection that was forming between them. "First we mix the ingredients." Maya gestured toward the bowls lined up before them. Eggs, flour, sugar. As she guided Tara through each step, the initial tension of competition melted into collaboration. They stirred, measured, and laughed. Slowly but surely, they continued tossing in flavors and stories. But amidst the laughter, Maya sensed a subtle distance still trapped in Tara's eyes. The softening was beautiful, yet shadows of her past danced there too, a reminder of their previous rivalry. Just as they were layering ingredients in the mixing bowl, Tara's gaze shifted again to her group of friends. The familiar smirk flickered back. "You know, Maya," she started, her voice taking on a teasing tone, "this could be a one-time deal. Maybe I'll drop the whole feud after this until next time. Maya's smile faltered. The playful jab sent a chill up her spine. Would it always have to be this way? Could they ever leave the specters of their past behind? Or maybe, this time, you choose to stick around, Tara, Maya countered lightly, her heart trembling with the weight of the challenge. The laughter around them faded as glances shifted between Tara and Maya. Did they understand the implication behind her words? Could the bakery, with its sweet aroma of possibility, become a sanctuary in which their defenses could truly change? Tara paused, contemplating. We'll see about that. The quiet that followed held its breath, an unspoken promise lingering in the air. As they continued mixing, facing each other through a haze of flour and frosting, Maya wondered, was Tara's smirk a threat or a cautious step toward friendship? Maya clung tightly to her hope, yearning to believe they were on the cusp of something real. The clouds of uncertainty loomed, but perhaps they wouldn't burst into a storm, but instead rain down subtle growth, bringing together the fractured pieces of each other's lives, and beneath the glimmers of laughter, what hidden warmth might emerge if they dared to hold on a little longer. The counter was a flurry of flour and sugar, laughter and chatter mingling in the air like sweet frosting. Maya watched Tara's hands move through the dough, palms sliding against the sticky mixture, but it was the small smile that crept across Tara's lips that caught her off guard. Then, in a quiet moment, Tara looked over at her, and Maya's heart fluttered. "What are you thinking?" Maya asked, intrigued by the sudden softness in Tara's gaze. Tara hesitated, a flicker of vulnerability passing through her eyes before she shrugged. "Just reminded me of baking with my mom. She'd let me mess everything up, and somehow it would all work out." The air shifted, pulsing with recognition. Maya nodded, feeling a pang in her chest. "My mom used to say the same thing. Messing up is part of learning. That's where the best memories are made." A genuine smile bloomed on Tara's face. For a moment, they were sisters in spirit, bonded by warmth and reminiscence, unearthing shared childhood treasures buried beneath rivalry and teasing. Their friends, witnessing this shift, cheered them on. "Look at you two. Who knew it'd happen in a kitchen?" Someone teased, and the laughter was light and joyful, echoing off the walls of the bakery. Maya joined in, but underneath the humor, a deeper question loomed. Was this friendship for real? Or was it just a temporary reprieve from their past battles? As they rolled the dough out with gentle pressure, Maya's eyes caught Tara's once more. This time, there was a spark of determination lighting Tara's features. "Maya," she said, her voice steady, "I really mean it. I could see myself sticking around more, but only if you want to." Maya's pulse quickened. Did Tara truly see the potential for something more? Without hesitation, she nodded. "I do want that." A ripple of anticipation settled over them, stirring emotions that clashed with the chaos of laughter around. They were moving toward the uncharted territory of friendship, stepping on fragile ground. "Let's create something we can be proud of," Tara challenged, already mixing in spices with a newfound enthusiasm in her eyes. "Absolutely," Maya said, feeling the heaviness of uncertainty lift slightly, but as they worked, Tara's competitive edge peeked through again. "You know, we need to have a taste test afterward. Best baker gets to choose the next dessert we tackle." Maya feigned shock. "You're not trying to turn this back into a competition, are you?" Tara laughed, and the tension melded into fun. "What can I say? It's my nature." "Well, at least that part hasn't changed," Maya mused with a clandestine smile. The moments slid swiftly into one another, each sprinkled with a growing awareness of what this could become. Their playful banter was more than mere competition now, it thrummed with a budding camaraderie that felt electric. As they baked, the scents of vanilla and cinnamon filled the air, transforming the bakery into a sanctuary of warmth and transformation. Each laugh layered more frosting onto the cake of their friendship, their walls crumbling brick by brick, but just as they were ready to pour the batter into the cake pans, Maya caught sight of Tara's friends whispering amongst themselves. The crowd seemed to sense the shift, their excitement palpable, but there was also a hint of skepticism in the air. "Are you two really going to go through with the bake-off?" one of Tara's friends shouted with mock disbelief. "Isn't he that just going to bring back the feud?" Maya felt her stomach drop. Was this truly the moment to decide? Tara paused, the light in her eyes flickering. Let us make this fun, not a war. It's about connection now, she asserted strongly, yet her voice wavered. Maya held her breath, waiting for the answer that would resonate in the room. Yeah, I'm in, she replied, her voice unwavering despite the doubts nipping at her mind. Let us do it together. But would their newfound connection withstand the pressures of competition? Or would the specters of their past rise once again to haunt their progress? With a shared glance, they braced themselves for whatever came next. And the room pulsed with uncertainty. The truth hung in the air, tinged with sweetness and a hint of fear. Just what would happen when the oven timer went off? The timer ticked away, each second like a heartbeat echoing in Maya's ears. She glanced at Tara, who seemed lost in her own thoughts, her brow slightly furrowed. The energy in the bakery swirled, anticipation and doubt mingling in the space between them. As the timer buzzed, Tara jumped, the sound snapping her out of her reverie. This is it! She exclaimed, excitement lighting up her face. Maya couldn't help but grin at Tara's enthusiasm. They moved in sync as they carefully opened the oven door, the heat spilling out like a warm hug. The golden cake was sitting there, fluffy and beckoning. Maya's heart raced. It looks perfect, she gasped, feeling heat rise in her cheeks. Just wait until you taste it, Tara said, her voice dipping into playful mischief. I hope you're ready to accept defeat. I won't go down that easily. Maya shot back, scooping out the cake with deliberate care, trying not to let her nerves get the best of her. As they layered the cakes with frosting, Maya couldn't shake off the eyes of Tara's friends watching them, silently judging. Was it all about to crumble? The sweetness was tainted with doubt, and her hands shook slightly as she spread the icing. Tara caught the unease, and leaned closer, her warmth wrapping around Maya like the smell of baked goods in the air. Hey, it's just between us now, Tara murmured, her voice low and reassuring. This is about having fun. Maya nodded, grateful but still anxious. They finished icing the cake, each swirl of frosting a representation of their journey so far. Finally, they stepped back to admire their creation, a towering cake that somehow began to symbolize their burgeoning friendship. It's beautiful, Maya whispered, wondering if the cake was more than just flour and sugar. Could it be a bridge between their past and what lay ahead? Okay, taste tests, Tara declared, pulling out 2 plates. Time to see who's the better baker. The crowd leaned in, laughter bubbling around them. Their friends began to buzz with excitement, offering comments and cheers. But Maya's heart raced even more as they both cut a piece of cake, trembling slightly under the gaze of those around them. They raised their forks in unison, and both took a bite. The sweetness enveloped Maya, an explosion of flavor dancing on her palate. There was a moment of pure silence, and then Tara's eyes widened. Oh wow! She exclaimed, her voice filled with genuine surprise. Maya returned the gesture. This is incredible. But just then, the mood shifted. Tara's friends burst into laughter. Okay, which one is better? One of them called out. Maya's heart tightened at the weight of the question. A simple taste test felt monumental now, everyone's attention on them. The echo of past rivalries flicked like shadows at the corners of her mind. Tara looked at her, a soft determination in her eyes. We need to decide as a team, she said firmly, and Maya felt the shift again, their connection strengthening like the core of their cake. Together, they face the verdict. Together, they reveal what their friendship could become, despite the doubts. Maya took a deep breath and raised her fork again. On 3? She suggested, looking around at the eager faces. 1, 2. Tara counted down, and suddenly, in that split second, an idea sparked in Maya's mind. What if we each get to choose one more recipe? She blurted out, excitement bubbling over. That way, the competition can just be fun. The laughter subsided, curiosity taking its place. Tara's eyes lit up, and for a moment, Maya felt like they were standing on the cusp of something monumental. Before the weight of competition could drag them down, they were offering something even sweeter, a way forward as allies. What would that new partnership look like? Would it pull their friends along, or would it sever the ties of the past altogether? With a shared grin, they turned to the crowd, and all eyes were on them, waiting for the final verdict. "Do we have a deal?" Tara asked, voice steady yet filled with anticipation. The silence stretched, weaving uncertainty and hope tightly together, holding them both steady in the moment. But would the taste of victory, sugar-coated as it was, bring unity or just deepen the divides? As the murmurs of the crowd faded, Maya savored the moment, tension hanging in the air like a thick fog. She could see the excitement in Tara's eyes, a mirror of her own eagerness to embrace this unexpected twist. "Okay, let us do it." With Tara's enthusiastic declaration, the crowd erupted again, cheers and shouts blending into an uplifting symphony. Relief washed over Maya, the pressure of competition had melted away, replaced by something softer, brighter. "All right, so what is our next recipe going to be?" Tara asked, her hands animated as she gestured toward their half-finished creations, the remnants of frosting smudged across their cheeks like badges of honor. Maya's mind raced. There were endless possibilities: the chocolate chip cookies her grandmother used to bake, the rich brownies that always brought her comfort, or maybe something ambitious like eclairs. Each option held memories and feelings of warmth. "What about lemon bars?" she suggested, recalling the first time her mom had introduced her to the tart sweetness. "They are bright, fun, and different." Tara's eyes sparkled. "Lemon bars it is. But we have to make them the best anyone has ever tasted." The room buzzed with excitement as their friends began throwing out ideas, adding to the chatter like a team of excited chefs brainstorming a menu. Maya felt a warmth radiating from the connection they were forming, not just as bakers but as friends. While they gathered their ingredients, Maya glanced at Tara. They seemed to move in sync, their laughter harmonizing with the sounds of clinking bowls and whisking eggs. Memories of past competitions faded, replaced by the pulse of camaraderie growing stronger between them. "Do you remember the first time we baked together?" Tara asked, a hint of nostalgia in her voice as she cracked an egg with a practiced hand. "I was so tense. I thought I'd mess everything up and you would hate me." Maya chuckled, pouring sugar into the mixing bowl. "I remember being terrified I'd ruin my mom's famous recipe. But here we are, sharing this crazy adventure." Their banter continued while they mixed the batter, tossing in zest and sugar until the mixture was smooth and velvety. With every stir, each whisper of flour floating in the air, Maya felt the unspoken understanding that had begun to bloom between them. There was no rivalry here, just two souls finding common ground in a shared love for baking. Once the lemon bars were in the oven, they leaned against the counter, the warmth of the stove enveloping them. The kitchen filled with sweet anticipation, punctuated by playful stories of past baking disasters, laughter echoing into the corners of the bakery. Just then, one of Tara's friends chimed in from the corner. "You two are really something. I can't believe how much better you work together." Maya's cheeks flushed, but she felt a bolt of pride shoot through her. They were proving something to everyone and to themselves. They were stronger together. As the timer counted down, the moment of truth drew nearer. Maya's heart raced. What if they don't like them? Tara turned to her, eyes fierce but compassionate. "They will, and even if they don't, we made them together. That's all that matters." The timer buzzed, and Tara reached for the oven mitts. The room held its breath, and suddenly Maya was left speechless. The aroma of the lemon bars filled the space. Tangy, bright, utterly delicious. As Tara pulled them out, the sunlight hit the golden surface just right, and Maya couldn't help but feel a surge of hope. Maybe this was their moment, not just in baking but in building something lasting. With their friends eagerly awaiting a taste, Maya turned to Tara, her heart full. "Ready?" A smile broke across Tara's face. "Ready." But before they could serve the bars, a voice interrupted them, and the laughter faded. "Hold on a second, do you think you two could bake something even crazier next time?" Maya exchanged a glance with Tara, the challenge hanging between them like the last bit of frosting left on the mixing spatula. What would be next for them? "Just wait and see," Maya replied, the thrill of the unknown pulsing in her veins. Maya felt a rush of excitement as the challenge hung in the air. What could they possibly create next? The zing of competition was still alive in the room, but now it was more playful, daring. Tara looked at her with an expression that was both eager and mischievous. Crazier, huh? Tara mused, head tilting slightly. Like a 5-tier cake made of donuts. Or maybe a cupcake with, I don't know, a hidden surprise inside. The ideas flowed out of Tara like a rushing river, and Maya could feel herself swept along in that current. Whoa, hold on. Maya laughed, trying to rein in the whirlwind of creativity. Maybe let us not make too much of a mess just yet. But she paused, an idea lighting up her mind. What if we took something people loved and just cranked it up a notch? Like s'mores cookies. Everyone loves s'mores, but what if we made them chewy and gooey in cookie form? Tara's eyes widened with delight. That's brilliant. The oven timer buzzed, interrupting their brainstorming. Both girls pivoted, the aroma of the lemon bars wafting through the air, intoxicating and promising. Tara pulled on her mitts again, and together they approached the oven, hearts racing in anticipation. As the door swung open, the golden bars gleamed back at them. The soft crust was just perfect, and the tangy lemon filling beckoned enticingly. It felt like unveiling a gift, bright and delicate. I'll take the first piece, Tara declared, her energy palpable. With a flourish, she cut into the bars, securing a generous portion for each of them. Maya couldn't help but feel a swell of pride as she watched Tara serve their friends. The way she poured herself into every aspect of the process, each flick of the wrist, every laugh shared, made it feel more than just a baking activity. It felt like magic. As she took her first bite, the flavors mingling in a happy burst on her tongue, Maya glanced around at her friends. Their faces lit up with joy. This was the essence of what they had created together. Not just delicious treats, but memories and smiles. They're incredible. Someone shouted from the back, sending a ripple of enthusiastic approval around the room. The voices merged into a chorus of compliments, and Maya silently cheered, her heart dancing in rhythm with the praise, but amid the joy, a sliver of anxiety clawed at her. What if their next creation didn't hit the mark? What if chasing that challenge pushed them too far? She shoved the thought down, reminding herself of Tara's reassuring words. It was about the journey, the bond they were building. Tara nudged her, bringing a playful sparkle back to Maya's focus. So, s'mores cookies next? Definitely. Maya replied, grinning ear to ear. The potential felt limitless, exhilarating. Okay, but we need to find the craziest twists we can think of. Like, let us sprinkle something wild into the cookie dough. Tara's enthusiasm was infectious. As the planning continued, their friends chimed in with ideas, each suggestion adding fuel to the fire of creativity burning brighter than ever before. Laughter bounced off the walls of the bakery. They were a team, a family in their shared love of baking, but just as excitement peaked, a shadow flickered at the door. Maya turned, awareness sharp. An unexpected figure stepped inside, one she hadn't seen in years. The noise faded as all eyes turned toward the newcomer. Are you really back? Maya breathed, suddenly uncertain as recognition washed over her like cold water. What could this mean for her and Tara? Would this friendship withstand the trials of the past resurfacing? Maya stood frozen, her heart pounding in her chest. The familiar figure of Katie strode into the bakery, a mix of curiosity and trepidation dancing in her gaze. The laughter faded, replaced by a hushed silence that clung to the air, heavy and uncertain. It felt surreal, like the calm before a storm. Maya, Katie said, her voice a blend of nostalgia and something deeper. I heard about your bakery. I just wanted to see it for myself. The old memories crashed around Maya like waves on a rocky shore. Their past friendship had been a whirlwind full of laughter, but also misunderstandings that left scars. The silence stretched, the bakery frozen in time, watching the two girls navigate this unexpected reunion. Maya's mind raced. Could this past, filled with awkward moments and unhealed wounds, disrupt everything she was building with Tara? But looking at Katie, the mixture of fear and hope flickered within her. Hey, Maya finally said, trying to breathe life back into the moment. Welcome to our pop-up event. She gestured toward the vibrant, colorful tables filled with pastries. We're baking up something special. Tara stepped forward, her confidence sparkling. You should try our lemon bars. They're a real hit. She smiled at Katie, warmth radiating in the room again. Katie exchanged a glance with Maya, a twinge of regret evident in her eyes. I know we had our differences, and things were complicated. But I'm really glad to see you thriving. The air shifted, warmth spreading like the aroma of baked goods. Maya felt the resolve to ensure her past didn't hold her back. I guess we all mess up sometimes, she said gently. But we can choose to move forward. Katie stepped closer to the display, a flicker of determination in her eyes. I do like that. Can I try a slice? Of course. Maya replied, her heart lifting with every step Katie took toward the pastries. As Tara served Katie, a tentative friendship between the three girls began to take shape. Soon, laughter bubbled back up like boiling dough, weaving through the bakery and transforming the atmosphere. Each small connection chipped away at the heaviness left behind by their past. Strangers became friends, woven together by flour and sugar, each pastry a shared story. Maya turned, taking in the sight of Tara and Katie serving lemon bars to a group of eager kids. Their smiles lit up the room like the softest sunlight breaking through clouds. This is amazing, Tara said, her eyes alight with excitement. It's like our bakery has become a hub of friendship. Maya nodded, heart swelling as she looked around at their community, united through creativity and resilience. Nothing feels better than sharing what we love. We're stronger together, right? Right. Tara chimed in, a radiant smile illuminating her face. Just then, as the celebration continued, Maya caught sight of Marco beaming at all the excitement. As he cheered for them from the corner, she felt something deep within her settle. This wasn't just about baking, it was about healing, coming together, and embracing growth in every flavor. The laughter and chatter rose into the air, enveloping Maya like a warm embrace. The bakery had transformed into a vibrant sanctuary, where dreams were baked together, and connections blossomed over sweet treats. Each resolution echoed in her heart, a reminder that the best stories often come from the most unexpected places. As the day wore on, the uncertainty outside their walls faded. The bakery flourished, filled with laughter and light. Maya took a deep breath, eyes sparkling with potential. Let us bake something wild next, she exclaimed to Tara. I want to create something that embodies our journey, our strength together. Tara nodded vigorously, excitement bubbling over once again. And maybe Katie can join us. Katie's smile widened, an unspoken agreement forming. Together, they could embrace the chaos and sweetness of life. The bakery, a once tentative refuge, had blossomed into a living testament of hope, growth, and transformation. A place where past struggles whispered of resilience and future success. Sang a melody of dreams unfolding. There, in that small kitchen, surrounded by the vibrant spirit of friendship, something beautiful was taking root, ready to rise above every challenge that lay ahead. And Maya knew this was just the beginning of something extraordinary. As the final reflections of sunlight glimmered through the windows, illuminating the warm hearts within, she turned to the crowd, overflowing with gratitude. Thank you all for celebrating with us today. You've not just celebrated pastries, but friendships that piece together in unexpected ways. Cheers erupted, echoing through the bakery, and Maya let the joy flood her heart, ready for all the adventures ahead. This was the moment that defined everything. The tie that bound them was stronger than ever before. There was no going back, only forward, together, filled with laughter and love. Now, who else wanted to join in this amazing journey? So, don't sit back now. You need to subscribe immediately to our channel to catch every exciting tale coming your way. Leave a like now to boost our visibility and bring more friends to this heartwarming journey. Comment below with how you felt about this transformation, because your thoughts matter. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to experience the magic of perseverance and friendship. This is the moment to show your support and help us grow this amazing community together.